Go ahead.
I've lived in Long Beach for 35 years. Came from the Midwest. I was 6 months old, and we came from the Dust Bowl and the Depression and Hitler acting up in Europe. And then we were able to make it to Long Beach. And my father was very rich, and my mother and us kids were not. My father eventually bought a beautiful home in Las Ritas and Bixby Knolls up on a hill, about a half block from Country Club Drive. And we had a remarkable life there. Do you think
I have that. What was your name?
Joyce Wheeler.
Joyce Wheeler. Abby.
And it's like wheel on a car, ER.
Very nice to meet you. I loved your story. It was really good.
Well, good. I'm glad you did. I think it's kind of an all-ages story.
Yes, definitely.
It's just, recognizing when somebody wants to be acknowledged for their humanity.
Yeah.
And not going anywhere afraid.
Yes. That is true.
If you can manage to get past the fear thing and into the acknowledging humanity and love, you can have the most wonderful life.
That's true.
And you're young enough to take advantage of it. I didn't learn it until I was practically elderly. Up to that point, I was always submitting myself as a victim.
Yeah.
Being kind to people that were hateful and mean. Not my family. My family was very supportive, very loving.
But how did you, instead of being a victim to these hateful people, how did you decide or realize that some of them were good and just needed that little bit of acknowledgement, and then some that are just bad people?
Well, I start out with the presumption that everybody is loving. And then some of them are chemical. Some of them are sociopaths, born with an inability to have any feeling of anything toward other human beings. But that's completely chemical.
And that's not really their fault.
And once the chemistry is not there, they're fine.
Yeah.
Just like the schizophrenic. My brother was schizophrenic because someone fed him 5,000 Morning Glory seeds on a lettuce sandwich because he was a vegetarian. And he hallucinated from that day and was delusional and schizophrenic until his death.
How long did he... I didn't know that Morning Glory seeds did that to you.
Oh, yeah. Back in the 70s, they used to use Morning Glory seeds.
To, trip?
Yes, because they were legal.
Oh, my goodness, I didn't know
that.
that.
Instead of using LSD, which was illegal, they used Morning Glory seeds, or they'd smoke banana pills.
Yeah, or they
had horrible.
Those Hell's Bells or whatever, those flowers on the trees. I've heard that too.
Oh, there were so many things going on, but people were sneaking people things in their
Wait,
drink.
so he didn't know that was going on, and someone just...
he didn't know. He was 19 years old. He had been accepted by Desilu to be in their theater program.
No.
He was doing beautifully. He was brilliant.
Oh.
He went to that party, and they decided he had to be high. And so they fed him all these. They gave him a lettuce sandwich with all the vegetarian Morning Glory seeds on it. And he took it thinking they were trying to help him have a better vegetarian meal.
You would never know. I mean
he just ate at a party.
Oh, wow.
And
what happened at the party? Did he flip out? Did he end up
he left the party. He eventually digested everything and went into hallucinations. We thought at first that he was just a hippie who had gotten high.
Yeah.
But then it continued day in and day out. 3 years later, he was with a therapist in a hypnotic session. And the hypnosis brought out what had happened to him.
Oh my God.
By that time, the people that lived across the street that had the party were long gone. There wasn't anything to do, but at least we knew what had happened.
What had happened? Well, then how long did he continue like that until...
He remained mentally ill, severely mentally ill, until he died at 42.
Oh my God.
He never had a moment of rationality from
Oh.
that moment on. But he did have a loving nature.
That's good.
When he died, everybody in the neighborhood grieved because he had been so kind to them. Like, he was very, very tall, and somebody would want to put a light in their ceiling, and he would come over and put their light in their ceiling for
So
them.
he could still do
He would
that
do
kind of
things,
stuff.
but he would do things free for the neighbors.
Right.
You know. And then he was he'd see a little baby running down the street. He'd pick up the baby and put the baby on his shoulder and go door to door to find out where the baby lived.
Oh.
You know, he was just a kind-hearted
Yeah.
guy, but he was severely ill.
That is horrible. That is
And he
horrible.
was a black belt, so when the police would come and get him because they had to, he was endangering himself all the time.
Oh.
When they had to come get him, they always had to bring a straight jacket.
Because he
Because he
would
was
know
a
how
black
to
belt, yeah, because he
defend
He
himself.
could wipe him out.
That is so sad. That
It
that's something
was.
so stupid
So
like
when I
kids
heard
did.
this guy behind me,
Oh.
my mind just went to David.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, this man is obviously schizophrenic. He obviously needs to be acknowledged. He doesn't want my curse.
Yeah.
He wants my acknowledgement. And I was right. And it worked out. And it was very, for me, it was a very profound experience.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
You tell it well too.
Oh, thank you.
Very good to meet you.
Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
you, too.
Thank you.
So are you going to tell a story today?
No, I don't have one. I was coming to see Michelle, my friend.